Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown. Sorry, I think I have some noise going on. Yeah, but no problems. Yeah. So welcome back to the Sports Breakdown. So Rohan, I think there's some mic issues. Yeah, but today we'll be doing the second test. Rohan, I think it's echoing over there. Yeah. So sorry guys. Today we'll be doing the second test between India versus South Africa. So brilliant victory by South Africa once again. They won by 8 wickets, and we'll be going through the match. Obviously, Dean Elgar played a brilliant innings in my opinion today, and anyone can join. Meanwhile, we'll send the link over here so anyone can join. Yeah, and join it. Yeah. Rohan, still I think there's echoes from your end.
Okay, let me rejoin once again.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah. So, anyways, we know KL Rahul replaced Virat Kohli as captain because Virat Kohli he had back spasms. So Kohli is set to play his 100th test at at Bangalore. So that's the news over there. Yeah, we're waiting until Rohan joins, guys. But anyone can ask questions. And yeah, so brilliant performance from South Africa. They make a comeback. And Dean Elgar played a brilliant innings. We'll be going through each innings. I'm just waiting until Rohan joins, and yeah, maybe start this. Yeah, yeah, Rohan joined again. Yeah. So I think now it's better. I think.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah. So let's go through the match. Let's go from the first day itself, and KL Rahul obviously replacing Virat Kohli as captain, and Bihari in for Kohli. No questions
Mhm.
about that, whether Shiraz Iyer could have maybe played in this test match.
But we got a report, Pawan, that
Yeah,
he has
he
a
had
stomach bug.
COVID, no? He had
Stomach
COVID, I
bug.
think.
No, no,
Stomach
stomach
bug.
bug,
Sorry,
man.
sorry. Stomach
Don't
bug.
go
Yeah.
for COVID, man, right now. The
Sorry,
tour will be
sorry.
cancelled.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot
So,
with all this COVID going
yeah,
on, the drama in South Africa. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. He
yeah,
had a stomach bug and he was not available. So the only option was Hanuma Vihari. And yeah, South
yeah.
Africa make two changes also. They went with I think
Dwayne
if I'm not
Oliver,
mistaken, they went with Varane instead of QDK,
Decock,
and yeah, and Oliver for
Dwayne
Mulder. Yeah,
Olivier. Uh,
yeah, Dwayne Olivier for Ryan Mulder. So those were the two changes. So let's go with the first innings. India all out for 202, and KL Rahul obviously scoring a half century, and then Ashwin at the end
mm,
46. They were all out 63.1 overs. I think they just lasted for two sessions. Your thoughts on the
mm,
overall batting, and obviously the two culprits, Pujara and Rahane going for double digits. So your
mm.
thoughts on the first performance?
First innings, I think if you see what happened in the first test, why India won was the fabulous opening partnership with Rahul and Mayank. Here, Mayank got out, and following him, suddenly we lost a couple of wickets with Pujara as well as Rane for a golden duck. So that kind of put a lot of pressure on someone like Rahul. You saw his tempo was a bit slow. As soon as the wickets fell, he was looking at least solid till then. Suddenly, he went into his shell. Uh, the runs kind of were a bit slow if you see in the first session, about 50-60 runs only till lunch. So that kind of instead of being positive, they were like more circumspect. Let's look at scoring runs later. That kind of mindset kind of crept in, and that's not good in test cricket this day and age, as far as I can see. That kind of catapulted there. Everybody kind of were here and there. Nobody was looking settled. Only Rahul, yeah, he looked good to get that 50, but nowhere you felt he was in complete control. Yes,
True,
Ashwin
right?
counter attacked with that 40 odd, but even if you see, he got hit on his glove, the finger
Yeah,
kind of hurt. That kind of again rattled him. He played a uncharacteristic shot that was not quite there. Those all small movements that went against India here throughout. But credit to the South African pacers, man. Dwayne Olivier was at the batsman. I mean, you saw in that first test, the South African's length was a bit tad short, I can say. Here, though it was short, it was at the body. It was at the body of
Hmm,
the Indian batsman. It wasn't like directed outside off stump. It was at the
true.
body, and even who is this Jansen, right? Marco
Marco
Jansen.
Jansen was very good. Yeah, 4 for
Yeah,
30,
yeah,
170
fantastic.
overs. Yeah,
Yeah, the left arm angle was
left
also
arm
creating
pacer, yeah.
troubles. Yeah, so those two were the real impact bowlers, I'll say, and that's what rattled India to just 202 in that first innings. Though you can say it
Yeah,
is an par score for Johannesburg first innings, but
true.
looking at the bowling attack that South Africa had, you felt maybe India could have got to 250 maybe. But I'll say if you had asked me, day one, win the toss, bat first, 200 would have taken. Yeah, I would have taken 202.
Hmm, true. Marco Jansen, we see here most of full lengths, good lengths. He bowled a lot
Yeah,
of short lengths also and got wickets. And he was
yeah,
really bowling well with temperament. And yeah, Marco Jansen was brilliant. Compared the first test, I thought he made much of impact. And I think Oliver's
huge.
miss, I think, in the first test, I think that
Mm,
created a hole for South Africa. And when he came back, I think all the other pace bowlers also got more confident with how
true.
Dwayne Oliver was bowling,
Mm,
especially in the first innings. Was bowling brilliantly in the lines that he was bowling. He should be given credit, and Jansen also for South Africa. And yeah, I would say that was par as well, 202, even though they say 230, 250. I mean, on that pitch,
mm,
202 was sort of okay with how South Africa also went, just got a 27
mm,
run lead. So I don't think the first innings made much of an impact for India, just losing the
mm.
27 run. But let's
But
talk
don't
about
you
South
think,
Africa.
Pawan,
Yeah.
when South Africa batted, I know credit to the Indian pacers, especially Shardul Thakur getting those 7 wickets. But somewhere the tailenders got a few freebies, I would say. Maharaj,
Mm,
Jansen, they scored like
true.
30, 40 runs, a bit too much. I felt
Mm.
it could have been a 180 to 200. I know the injury to
Yeah, but we
Siraj
can't
was
forget we
also.
didn't have Siraj. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
right.
yes. That Siraj injury factor was a key thing there. But if you can say, every cloud has a silver lining. Because of Siraj's injury, Shardul got a extended spell wherein he got those 7 wickets. But somewhere at that fag end, where I felt India could have bowled them out for 175, 180, or even worst case, 200 scores are level kind of a thing. Those 25, 27 runs kind of gave that psychological edge to South Africa, you can say.
Hmm. But how good was Keegan Peterson? Very underrated. I mean, 62, that knock was important. Him and Baboom at one time, India couldn't get them out until Shardul Thakur came into the act
Yes.
and
Hmm.
was very effective. Especially in the first session, Keegan Peterson and Baboom were very good second day. So, your thoughts on that small partnership they had, because that bothered India a bit, don't you think?
Yes, I mean more than Bavuma, I'll say Peterson because he came at number three when the ball was still new, and it's more difficult for him to survive. Bavuma at least he got it when he was like 30, 35 overs in, where the Kookaburra kind of softens up. Little more lesser, easier to bat, I can say. But Peterson was solid in his defense to a Shami or a Bumrah. For a young man in Test cricket, he showed a lot of temperament, was very solid, and he wasn't unfazed by any of those. Quality bowling that was he was facing. So I'm pretty keen to see how well this Keegan Peterson, because he comes from the under 19 route, you can say. Lots of people
Yeah.
were impressed with this guy. So I hope he fulfills that all that expectation that's from the South African fans and people. So he looked very solid, man. Even in that first test, though he got out to slightly less scores, his technique was pretty solid. So I'm more
Hmm.
impressed with Keegan Peterson. Bouma, we know he's been a solid, tenacious
Yeah.
guy. He got those 50. I know he got out to a average stroke, I can say, trying to charge Shardul when I don't think it was the requirement there. Credit to
Agree.
Shardul for following him up. But Peterson looked very, very solid until a lapse of concentration. I know he got at 50 and may have felt a milestone was reached. That's why waffed outside off stump. But until then, he was looking really solid, Peterson.
Yeah. Ashutosh here says, from questioning, was this the weakest South Africa team to this is a monumental effort?
I don't think it's the weakest South Africa team and all, man. I mean, they still have the bowling lineup that's pretty decent to challenge. And at home, I won't say any team can be called weak. If they're traveling overseas because of lack of experience for those conditions, you can call someone weak. Like this England team and Ashes now, that's weak. But that same team plays in England, they'll challenge most teams, right? So
Yeah.
South Africa at home is always been formidable. They may have lost a test here and there, but still they will compete pretty well. So I won't call them weak.
Why is sweating so much? I think it's due to light. I don't know. I'm not
Also, yeah.
sweating. I don't know. Sorry for that. Yeah, I think I was
What did you
a
do,
bit.
Pawan?
Huh?
Why
Don't
you
know.
sweat?
I don't know. It's,
Okay, get back to the game.
I don't know. Could be could be due to several reasons, but I don't know about that reason. Yeah, but Tom is asking India failed to find the correct length.
Yes.
I think second innings, but I think Thakur was very good. In fact, I would say Bumrah was okay. I mean, Bumrah and Shami, I wouldn't say that they lost their lengths. Well, I think they just didn't have Siraj. That was the thing. First innings wise, I think that was the biggest hole. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that the Indian bowling was bad in the first innings. They were sort of okay, not better than the South African. But I know Thakur was the standout for sure, better than all the South African pacers. But I wouldn't say the bowling effort from all the bowlers were bad, don't you think, Rohan?
I
Indian.
mean, in terms of what Tom asked with regards to length, if you see Shardul, he's not as quick as a Bumrah or a Shami. He's slightly less on pace. So he will be naturally more foolish length, where batsmen will go for those drives, get those nicks behind to the keeper and the slip cordon. That's where I think the length matter comes. Someone like a Bumrah or Shami will be more hit the deck on that good length spot or a slightly back of a length. Shardul will be more in a fuller length, a good length spot, what you can say, foolish that 6 meter mark, if you can say, maybe that's where Shardul was getting those rewards. But if you see in the second innings, those same lengths were not so good to on today's conditions, I'll say, because maybe the ball was a bit wet because of the rain, all that was around for the first couple of sessions which are lost. So the ball could have got a bit of moisture, and that may have meant less movement of the pitch, or even with the cracks could have been all what do you call just glued together because of the moisture in there. They didn't misbehave much as we expected it to. So overall, yes, the length were a bit missed.
Yeah, and Lord Thakur, meanwhile, gets 6 wickets of right-handers and 1 wicket only on left-handers.
Mm.
So good. He bowled properly. I mean, full length, good length, short of good length. I think it's due to his pace lengths, don't you agree? Compared to
Yes.
Bumrah, Shami, they bowl at around 140, 135, 140, whereas Thakur can bowl
Mm.
his slow deliveries 120, 125. I thought in that pitch, I think mainly if you bowl those slow deliveries, that would get them out. And Thakur knew his tactics spot on in this test match compared to Shami or Bumrah just going for pace.
Mm.
In my opinion.
Also, I think Pawan, we were speaking it just some time ago where Bumrah or Shami were bowling bit too quick, where the ball was just beating the bat. Shardul
Hmm.
was since slower, the batsman thought they can actually get to the ball, meet the ball. Hence, that little movement was getting those edges. Where the batsman felt like, yeah, I can go for a drive. It won't be of much of a threat to me or something like that. Hence, those it's basically sometimes luck, man. I think Ashwin was quoted here saying, "No, you just have to bowl, you'll get a wicket, man." That was the Lord's ability or magic, you can say. But the credit to
Yeah.
Shardul Thakur, he's always been a fighter. He gives it his 100%. Yes, he's also human. But what to do, man? Fortresses are meant to be breached nowadays. Let's hope the Cape
Yeah.
Town fortress is breached now.
Yeah. At least he doesn't have a bad. I mean, losing record under Kohli at least. So maybe he can
Okay,
keep
okay, that's
under.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Shami. I think it was. I think there was a coincidence between Virat Kohli and Mohammad
Yes,
Shami. I think when I
yeah,
saw a post on the Third Man
correct.
Cricket Show. I mean, with the number six. I think when
Yes, yes, yes.
Shami's under Kohli, they have lost six, and I don't know. I
Shami
can't
wasn't a
remember
part
the
of
full.
those.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Virat has missed those 6 games, and Shami has
Hmm.
also coincidentally missed those games only. This is the first time he has played under a different captain other than
Different
Virat.
captain. That's a very interesting stat. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks to the third man cricket show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When you just says here in the second innings, given Siraj was not physically fit, do you think they overbowled him? Do you think trying a few overs of Bihari might have helped?
In the second innings,
I don't think so, right? It's very tough, no,
second
especially
innings to start with Ashwin itself was wrong.
bringing
Start
Ashwin
of the
even from KL Rahul. That's what we were discussing also. That was tactically wrong from KL Rahul,
yes,
and he has a lot to learn. And this is will be good. The upcoming ODI series will be very good for KL Rahul to learn a lot from
yes,
Kohli under Kohli as a player and get some advice. That would
yeah.
help KL a lot, in my opinion. He has a lot to learn, in my opinion. That will gradually groom for him for sure. But
I
outstanding
mean,
from Lord Thakur, yeah,
yeah. I mean, not to discredit anyone, but when you lose, na Pawan, you learn a lot more than when you win,
true.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hope it improves someone like Rahul.
mm, I agree. Yeah. Ashutosh over here says a comment. Umesh in for Siraj and he leak runs
Yeah.
my prediction with a cute 4-4. Yeah,
Even I
agree.
feel Umesh will come in for Siraj rather than Ishant. I'll say
Mm,
Umesh brings that
true.
little more extra pace. Also, I will say it depends on the conditions. Let's have a look at what the pitch at Cape Town brings. Their stocks it may be dry and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
knowing South Africa's strength is their pace bowlers, they may like to give that green tinge on that pitch.
And we just discussed this before the live stream also, how much punt contribution in this loss, especially that
Lots
second innings. Second
awful
innings,
shot.
especially that shot, awful shot. I would say there's
Hmm.
nothing much to say there. Imitation, in my opinion. The bouncer from Rabad, if I'm not mistaken, tried to go and attack that for a six, trying to attempt to hit. He nicked the bat, didn't middle the bat properly, and ultimately went to Varen's gloves. That was a very poor shot.
Also to
Very poor
add,
shot.
Pawan, we have seen Pant do all these kind of charging down the track, reverse sweeps, all those things. He does that when he's say 15, 20 minutes or 30 balls into his innings or something. This was like second, third ball, man. You don't do
Mm.
that, irrespective who you are, right?
In the
Against a
Test
bowler like
cricket,
Rabada.
even
Yeah.
in Test
No,
cricket, who would do that? In my opinion, that's what
see, Rishabh
with a
Pant will
ball
do
like
it in Test
Rabada.
cricket or any this thing. But thing was the timing of that shot. Also, it could have been the last over of Rabada's spell. So if he had just kept himself in check, he could have got some others whom he could have gone after. And we had just
Mm.
lost two wickets, mind you, set batsmen in Pujara and Rahane earlier. So
Yeah.
once you lost two wickets, the game awareness comes into picture, right?
I
So
think he went back to the
a few things
2020
he needs
mode,
to
in
learn.
my opinion. I think he went
What
back to
mode?
the
I don't know.
2020
It
mode.
was more self-destruct mode, I'll say.
True, yeah.
Hmm.
Ashutosh CS says, was it Pant's contribution or to pump to play the shot by Van the Dusan? Why would he get
Whatever, man.
influenced
I
by
think they are mature enough players to understand when to play, what not to play.
that? Was such a bad shot, in my opinion. Not the right time to even play a shot like that. Just premeditated, just tried to. He just moved forward. His footwork was nowhere. I mean, with that Rabada bowling that bouncer, he was just
It looked like a
clueless.
slog, macha.
Horrible. This horrible
Let's not talk
playing.
about Pant and waste time, man. We know that's
Yeah,
what he'll do. Let him learn first and get better.
let's talk about Pujara and Rahane. Now, will they be dropped now after their first
No,
innings? They were perform they performed badly. Yeah, same. I don't think you can drop these two, especially in a
I mean,
crucial.
how happy were you to see a Pujara playing so freely, uninhibited? It was like so happy. He was like he was feeling free. There was some freedom in his shots, man. No expectations. He was like completely like somebody just left him, said just go out and play whatever you want, and that's what he
Mm,
showed. He's a class player. I think he came out and told saying what form is temporary, class is permanent. Yes,
yeah,
it is. But you need to do, you can't keep doing tuk 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 there and blocking out balls when
yeah.
sometimes when you show some positive intent, that will benefit him as well as the team. So you can't
Mm,
always play at first gear. You should know when to shift your gears, adapt to the situations. Someone like Rahul Dravid, everybody thought he's a slow player and all those things. But when required, Dravid used to step it up, man. I think
mm,
the best person whom these guys can learn from is someone like a Dravid. Same with Ajinkya. Ajinkya shares a very good rapport with Rahul Dravid. So
Yeah.
hope these two
Ashutosh
guys
is
they got
bringing us
some
back
runs.
to the
Hope it
punt
continues.
incidents. He's saying it was Vanderdusen made him play that. Watch it, guys. He was sledging him for all those three balls.
Ashu, we know Pant is a better sledger than Van der Dusen. He has come
Yeah,
with lots of good one-liners,
understand.
and being
True.
from Delhi, he should know how to handle such things.
Hmm. True. I agree on that. And Ashutosh here says Pujara did meditation for 6 hours the before night, and Rahane was fasting the whole
ये
day.
क्या बकवास है? Eh,
And don't know what they were communicating between the wickets, because both of them were in serious trouble. All the criticisms, now scoring half centuries, both of them. Good duo between both Rahane and Pujara.
But Pawan, I have just one fear I can tell you. Whenever Rahane does this extraordinary knock, a 50 or 60, a match-winning knock or whatever, or sometimes okay, today was a loss, but if doesn't follow it up with consistent scores, he again goes back to those old habits.
Hmm.
Again, those single figure scores, bad shots. No, when a player gets into some runs, we want him to carry on that form, right? This is what irritates me with someone like Ajinkya Rahane. Though he's a
Hmm.
class player, he doesn't carry on that form. Pujara, we know once he is set how he bats. I mean, this could have been a one-off. Kept on, we may again see a 50 ball five or something again. Okay,
Yeah, but it
we
was
don't
very
want
quick
that.
innings. Very quick innings from Pujara, by the way. Never expect him to play that 44 of 66. We always see him sort of
His
like the
quickest
Dravid,
50 overseas, by the way.
being patient, playing a simple knock. He played like a 50 over knock, 50 over innings, like I felt with him under pressure. But that was good in a way also, though, from
Yes,
Pujara, him playing like that
yes.
for once in test, because he doesn't get a chance in limiteds,
Oh,
obviously, limited over format.
yeah. Let's see, man.
Uh,
Good. Hope he continues.
yeah, but what those useful runs from Hanuma Vihari, because I think they even from Shardul Thakur, that knock in the second
Yes.
innings 28, where everyone feared
What
whether
shots, man?
Thakur
What shots were those?
five fours
Classic.
1 6. Even I was watching that. Yeah,
Mm,
brilliant shot. South Africa was
I-
struggling to get him out.
yes. I mean, who said that today? I think Wasim Jafar tweeted Shardul was bowling like a Botham and batting like a Greenwich. That's lot. I mean, sometimes he's such a positive fellow. He does these
Hmm.
things. I'm happy for someone like Shazul doing well. But more pleasing, Hanuma Vihari. I know
Hmm.
he doesn't get a lot of games. Generally, he has been a overseas
And I think
specialist,
he's
you can
injured.
say.
After this
I,
test might
I
be
think there's
replaced by.
still 4 5 days to go. Let's see. It's not such a major injury. I feel he will get back hopefully. Let's see.
Hmm.
That's a different thing. Who's gonna be
Replaced
dropped
Virat.
when Virat Kohli returns?
That's another drama. Yeah. Ashutosh
Hmm.
Shia says he's my brother. Please bear with Rahane.
Okay, bro. I think we have paid for him for last 1.5 years. Well, after scoring a 50, we can bear for one one more year. Okay. I'm pretty sure he has booked this slot for this coming year test matches also with this one knock.
Hmm, true, I agree. Yeah, but Shardul Thakur, those shots brilliant, magnificent, and he played one shot too extra to get out. Otherwise, I would feel
Yes.
like they would have gone for a more than 250 lead, even with how he was playing.
Hmm.
Brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
Shardul Thakur, the shots, brilliant all rounder. Definitely could be an option for as a number seven, in my opinion, in the upcoming series if they need. Because I think Ashwin betting higher than Shardul. I think Shardul can bet at number seven, right? Possibly.
It depends again, Pawan, because see who is missing in this squad. Sir Ravindra Jadeja. Do you
Yeah.
think when Jaddu plays as a, I mean, I'm talking only for overseas tests,
Yeah.
they
True.
go
True.
with
True.
one spinner? It generally has been Jaddu. And
Yeah.
Jaddu bats at number 6 or 7,
Seven.
you can say.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
even he is batting six. Pant was pushed down, if you remember the last
Hmm.
test against England at the Oval.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Shardul
I agree.
ahead of Jadeja or Ashwin is still work in progress
No, no, not
because,
above Jadeja. Definitely not above Jadeja. At least above
yeah,
Ashwin with the shots
currently
he
I don't want
plays.
to put so much pressure on Shardul man. He's
Thakur.
doing his job. Sometimes what
Hmm.
happens when you are at number 8, you feel this is the way I can play. Once you go at one step higher, you will say, oh, maybe I need to bat like a batsman, play a few defensive shots. It'll ruin their natural game at times. So let them be
Hmm.
the way they are. Let them contribute the best.
Hmm. True. And Rabada, Ningidi, and Jansen, second innings also, all of them picked up 3 wickets and contributed. And no spinner getting involved. I think Maharaj is the only spinner. They didn't need much of him because the paces were good enough. Your thoughts
I
on
think
the
Maharaj
second
contribution was
innings?
only with the bat.
Yeah, true. Yes, but the three fast bowlers, Rabada, Ningidi, and Jensen. We discussed about Jensen. I think Oliver didn't do that well in the second innings, but the other three bowlers in the second innings.
Rabada was seriously good, man. He got those set batsmen, as we were saying, Pujara, Rane, and of
Rahane
course
and Pandya.
Rishabh Pant. So getting those guys kind of dented a few runs for India, I'll say, because the time when they were batting, I felt India could easily get past 300. So those 40-50 runs in the end, okay, may have not mattered, but psychologically if you had said 250 target, South Africa would have been a bit susceptible. So it was like, oh, okay, 230 to 40 can be gotten, couple of partnerships, and luckily rain happened. So lots of things favored South Africa also, but credit to Rabada, Jansen also. Jansen rattled Bumrah. I mean, how often somebody does that, man? So it's nice to see a young man coming up the ranks in Makoyans.
Do you think a lead of 240 was enough for India to defend in this kind of pitch? I know the conditions, it was washed out in day 4, 2 sessions were lost, and the ball was damp. It was difficult for the pace bowlers, especially in the latter part of the match. Your thoughts whether the lead of 240 was enough for them to win the test match? Because, considering the last test match in at
Centurion.
Centurion.
Ideally, it should have been, I felt, but again, Siraj's fitness, all those things come into picture, and those rain. So, certain things went South Africa's ways. Credit to Elgar. Elgar also should be given massive credit here, man. He batted
Mm,
brilliantly, took a lot of blows, looked ugly at times, but got those runs in the end. So,
mm.
Van de Dusen contributed well. So, brilliant win for South Africa. It sets up the series brilliantly now. 1-1 decided at Cape Town. Let's see
The
once
shots
Virat
that
Kohli
Elgar played
returns.
was brilliant. For me, the shots that Elgar played, especially on the on towards the third man, for me, I think he
Yes.
played very good and patient knock in my opinion. Stayed until the end. As a captain, he led this South Africa side and
Mm,
managed to win. I thought that Elgar might be dismissed, but he played a very good knock. He missed the century. He missed the century by 4 runs, but
yeah.
I think he played a very good knock alongside Van der Dusen. That partnership where in
Mm,
India was struggling. Especially can't, I don't know, with the conditions it would have been difficult for Shami and Shardul to make impact. But
mm.
your thoughts on the partnership with Elgin and Vandadusan? Ultimately, Vandadusan got out from Shardul Thakur's
Shami.
delivery, but yeah, Shami's delivery.
Shami, I
Sorry,
guess.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Shami. Yes, sorry, Shami.
mm.
Yeah, your thoughts on that partnership? Yeah,
See, at the start of the day, at still 120 to go, you felt s- a chance was there. But the
mm,
start with that wrong tactics of Ash to start, all those things compounded your misery, man. See, when you go into bat, overcast conditions, little bit of moisture in the pitch, as a batsman, you are very tentative. Suddenly, you see a spinner come on to ball, your mind frees up. It's like you have gotten a couple of practice balls, you can say. So once you feel that comfort zone is there, irrespective who comes on to ball later, your mindset is completely different. So that kind of led all these factors. But credit, as I said, Elgar was the main reason why South Africa were able to win today. In case Elgar had got out, I am not sure. Even though Bavuma and all the others are there, but Elgar's experience, his tenacity is what I'll say. He got hit so many times. He looked ugly, but he got those runs, and he also guided Van der Dusen, I can say. In the middle, you could see him talk to Van der Dusen, say not to give it up, play a bit more close to your body, don't go with
yeah,
hard hands, which may result in edges. Those things,
mm,
little things, tips helps. I know he's the captain also, very calm
yeah.
influence in the field. So completely agree with Dean Elgar. I think he was the man of the match also,
Very
right?
underrated test stopper
Very,
alongside
very,
Dimuth.
very.
Very few
Mm,
differences. I think they sort of have like this same tactics. Even as captains, I mean, even as openers, I think the both of them, I think, are very similar in my in their
mm.
technique approach. I think very underrated the opener, and we don't mention much about Elga, but especially at home conditions, is very good. and I see that he might do a big impact for South Africa, especially at home
Yes.
in 2022. Hopefully, because this team has some sort of promises. Especially, I think that Test is might be their weakest, but I think
Mm.
this Elgar can somehow lead this young team. I mean, Jansen, Varane, Oliver coming back after a long time, Peterson doing well. So they have sort of experience and youth
Yes.
combination in this side. So I think South Africa can definitely come back in that in the test rankings. I know they're right now number 6, I think, but they
Mm.
can go a long way, I think. I have to ask this also: is KL Rahul captaincy material right now? I know it's his first match. We can't judge him much, but right now, in case something happens to Virat Kohli in the future, who knows what happens? And maybe next 2 3 years, somebody will have to captain this side, and possibly
Pawan.
could be either KL or Rohit over here. But Rohit also is too old, so I would say KL will be the ideal option.
Mm.
But your thoughts right now, because he has a lot to learn, in my opinion, KL
Yes.
Rahul, when it comes to his captaincy.
See, if you ask me question, is he captaincy material? Default, yes. But is he the right material? Question mark.
Hmm.
Okay, because he plays all the three formats and the availability of other players as well as their form. Like ideally, someone like Ajinkya Rahane would have been the backup test
Hmm.
captain for you, but because
Yeah,
of his indifferent form that was happening, they had to make KL as vice captain. And since Virat wasn't there, default this guy became a captain, right? Ideally, it could have been Rahane here, whose
yeah.
tactics are we have seen in Australia and
Right.
other times also, which are much more
I feel
smarter,
bad
I
for
can say.
him also. With how he's
Yeah.
performing on second innings, suddenly he's going to be dropped. He performs somehow. I feel bad that he was dropped, especially of his vice captain position,
Mm,
especially after New Zealand. With how much he's
mm.
contributed in 2021, that 100, and led that Indian team to a test match series victory against Australia. So I felt like that was the wrong call, in my opinion, just dropping Rahane off vice captain and then making his position insecure. Now I feel that
Mm.
Rahane might not be dropped after all after this performance.
One thing, Pavan, I don't know how much you follow someone like Ravichandran Ashwin. He used one word, empathy towards players. You need to feel sometimes what the player is going through also. And you need to support the player when he's down, not when he's scoring hundreds, taking a 5 or 7 wickets and things. When this guy is really out of form or not doing well or not fit, that's when, as a team management or as fans, when you support them, they give you those desired results. Something which Ajinkya Rahane has shown to me. Okay, I am not sure someone like a KL Rahul, when he was down, he was going even more deeper into trouble. Lots of wrong techniques and all those things. It was only because of that one injury to Mayank in England, and Rahul got a lot of free time to work on his technique. That's why you see this new version of KL Rahul in Test match cricket, right? That's when there
Hmm.
was no expectation. That's why Rahul is delivering now. Same thing I expect someone like a Pujara or a Rahane. They have been stalwarts right now, man, for Indian cricket for the last 7 8 years, especially overseas. They have contributed immensely. So let's give them that respect. That boss, yes, you have not done well for the last 1 year. I'll give you next 3 4 matches. No disrespecting them, saying you don't be the vice captain. All this nonsense politics, keep it aside. Back them, boss. In case you play, you will be the vice captain. If you're not there, if I drop you, only then your vice captaincy will be removed. Not like play them in the 11, not give them that leadership role. Then there will be mixed thoughts in a player's mind. They won't give you that perfect results that can help you in match winning ability, I'll say. So you need to have those little things. The selectors, all these people have to come into one sync. Only then it will help the team, not just for Indian cricket. I'm saying overall any teams, and particularly to Asian teams, these things happen. Ego comes into picture, all those nonsense. Once you start giving some empathy to players, they will give you better results. Respect them for what they have done so far for you, man. They have
Right.
played some match winning knocks. Yes, they
Hmm.
may have hurt. Someone like Pujara has got hit all over the places,
But he's played
right?
94 test matches also. Pujara has
Yes.
wealth of experience, especially at home. We need to give credit in his youth, especially his young career, I think
Mm,
2012 to 14. His average was about 60, if I'm not mistaken. One of the best then
mm,
overseas. His test series against Australia, he scored 600 runs, if I'm not mistaken. one of the best performances in my opinion. So you need to give credit from their past.
Yes,
They've
yes.
secured their places. Why would you go and I know Pujaras had not had a lean year obviously in 2020, but
Hmm.
this with the COVID bubble going on, with the mentality with the Indian team, with all these politics going on,
Hmm.
changes with the captaincy, you need to give them some sort of I don't know what to say, but you need to give some sort of respect to both
Yeah.
of Pujara and
Not,
Rahane.
not
And
not not to forget the kind of pitches we are playing on, man. At home
yeah.
they're turning from ball one, and you go to
Hmm.
overseas they're seaming, swinging, and even the opposition isn't scoring much.
And like 50s are sorts of like hundreds, in my opinion. What Kujara
Yeah,
and Rahane got those 50s. If they didn't score, also, I don't think rest of none of the rest of the batsmen would have performed,
exactly.
in my opinion. You need
Virat
to give,
Kohli hasn't performed.
yeah. We are not
Uh,
talking about Virat Kohli because
yeah,
he's right now captain, and I think Mitchell Stark has a higher average than Virat Kohli in 2019. I've gone through several sources. Since 2019, Stark has had a better average than Kohli. We don't question Kohli because of what he's done in the past. He's been consistent in all three formats. No question about that. We don't question his temperament and his technique. Nothing, but I think. I don't know about Kohli actually. I don't know his recent. What do I say? The 2 years I think
altercation with BCCI, you can say.
contract with DCCI, then the family. Yeah, with the daughter right now, focusing on parenting. Those things also come into play. So, but I think it's very soon until we see a 71st century from Kohli. That's definitely going to happen very soon. Hopefully,
Yeah,
in the
let's hope
upcoming
for that, man.
years. I feel like Kohli will somehow give a comeback and have a terrific year. Once he gets that 100, I think no pressure for Kohli, in my opinion. He just needs to get that century or have an outstanding performance because 2019, when I watched Virat Kohli, that 254, I think against South Africa at Pune, one of the best innings that I've watched
Mm.
in Test cricket, in my opinion. Virat Kohli, that knock was brilliant. I watched that match. Virat Kohli played with pure class. After that innings, he has struggled, and thanks to COVID also and all these issues with IPL, they're focusing more on 2020 also. Virat Kohli couldn't exactly have a good year last year. I hope this year at least he can perform well. And we can't just critique Kohli from one year, I would say. We need to see how he does this year also.
Mm. Let's hope for the best, man. As you said, hope the 2022 is a better year for him.
Hmm. Cricket Fantastic says Shardul doesn't look that difficult with his simplicity, but he has proved that he can play as a main bowler in Test cricket.
Yes, we saw that in England. He has gotten key wickets, like he got Root out so many times, where others were
Hmm.
struggling to even bowl to someone like a Root. This guy was getting him pretty easily, I can say.
And
So
how much he has
Shardul,
evolved under MSD also. We have to credit MSD also for improving his mentality, especially playing under him
yes,
also at in CSK. Him and Deepak Chaha, both of them, and both of them
true.
standouts and have been picked for the ODI series coming up against South Africa.
Yes,
So being under Dhoni, I think, has influenced them, and they've changed. I think Dhoni is very good when it comes to giving advices to bowlers and under stumps, telling them where to bowl exactly, the lengths, the pitch, where they pitch the ball. I've seen that many times. Shardul has evolved,
yes.
playing under Dhoni, and now bringing that to even test format. So very impressed with Shardul Thakur with his class.
Yeah, I mean, previously before he made his Test debut, he was looked as a very much a red ball format bowler only for India. He used to bowl pretty well in the India A games, pick a lot of wickets. It is only because of the IPL that he has developed his white ball skills, those cross seam deliveries, slower ones, all those things. But primarily, he's always been a red ball bowler for Mumbai when he used to pick up. I think there was a season where he was the highest wicket taker in India in the Ranji Trophy, man. When did you last see a Indian fast bowler become a highest wicket taker in Ranji trophies? That's generally been dominated by spinners, you can say. And I'm
Mm,
talking this like 7 8 years ago itself. So there,
mm,
Shardul Thakur was identified as a very good fast bowler for India. Unfortunate, I think he played his first Test match in Hyderabad, I think, where after just bowling a over or so, he had a hamstring and he had to walk off. He was very disappointed because of that. But since then, he has improved his fitness as well as his performance for CSK under MS. all those things coincided in that rise of the Lord, you can say. If you had won, you could have been the Lord of the Rings today at the Bull Ring. But anyways, but very impressed with someone like Shardul Thakur's evolution in the last 3 4 years.
Yeah, seeing these also in continental, I think, and host countries
Hmm.
also in Australia picking up 7 wickets only one match,
Brisbane.
average 22 to two. Yeah, at Brisbane, England also two matches, average 22, and South Africa also two matches given 10 wickets. He's
Hmm.
been brilliant, and he's not. He's only played one home match, and I think Jasprit
That
Bumrah
debut.
also I think only played two
Two
home
tests.
matches, test series, and two
Hmm.
matches. Sorry, and has played 25 overseas matches, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's much. That's how much they actually play. I think they both of them might get a chance. I think in the upcoming Sri Lanka series, hopefully.
Depends on conditions generally, Pavan. Because at
Yeah,
home, India prefers guys who are more,
yeah.
what do you call, getting bold in LBW, that is Shami and Umesh, or even Ishant. So these guys are generally kept back for the overseas conditions, which are more seaming and swinging conditions.
But that's good in a way, also, in my opinion. And see the
Good.
first class also. I think 27 average, 231 wickets,
Yes.
60, and I think he's around. How old is he? About 30. But
He's 28,
that's
30
remarkable.
maybe.
Yeah, 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's 30.
That's what I said. His limelight came because of highest wicket taker in Ranji Trophy suddenly. So no,
Hmm.
suddenly a guy who is from Mumbai getting all those wickets as a medium pacer, everybody thought, who is this guy, man? Suddenly, who is getting so many wickets in Ranji Trophy? A seamer from Mumbai. So that's where Shardul Thakur impact came into first class cricket, because of which he played a team and moving on like that for India.
Yeah, that's what they said. The Mumbai won the Ranji Trophy, I think, in
Yes,
2016, and he contributed for that. Yeah,
huge. There also
yeah,
he scored those
27 wickets,
20s and 30s with the bat. That's where
27
people
wickets
said, oh,
also. Yeah,
yes, yes, yes,
he finished joint top of Ranji Trophy bowling charts with 48 wickets,
yes,
2014
yes,
and
yes.
15 season. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
the
that was
season I'm talking. Correct.
the India call up. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, that's a cricket fantastic. Yeah, he does play for Mumbai in Ranchi, and yeah, we'll be doing a Sri Lanka review against Zimbabwe once the squads come out. Both of the squads come out. Until then, we are not doing. But yeah, let's go talk about the preview in Cape Town. Now, what do you expect of the conditions over there in Cape Town? Remembering about your past experiences over there, the five Test matches that India played. Do you think it will be different compared to Centurion and Johannesburg? I feel like it's spin film there, if I'm not mistaken, right, in Cape
It
Town.
it generally is spin friendly and very good for batting on day 2 and 3. But I don't know, keeping the South African pace bowling strength. I think the curator may be told to leave a little more extra grass so that it'll help our fast bowlers and stuff like that. Nowadays, since WTC points are also at stake, they don't want to give a spin friendly, keeping Ravichandran Ashwin, which the Indian team has. I don't think they'll put any idea of such spin friendly tracks. But Cape Town, historically, yes, as you said, but I don't know about this time how it will be.
Hmm. I think even Johannesburg, I think they changed a bit of the pitches,
Yes.
so I'm also not sure whether this time around they'll change the pitch. I think last time, I think England toured South Africa, no, in
Yeah,
2020.
Ben
That
Stokes
was
got a
last
double
time.
hundred, if you remember.
Yeah.
250 something along with this Bear Stoke got a hundred also. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, looking at the record, it seems like South Africa are very good when it comes here at Cape Town, but you never know. Don't believe stats and all. You never know. India, they breached the fortress at Centurion. They may be able to do the same because they are very good when it comes to comebacks. India, I
Yeah,
think the best test team when it comes to comebacks. No doubt in any era, I would say they are the best when it comes to comebacks, and especially after losing one
yeah.
test, they'll definitely win the next test in this sort of
There,
era
there's
under.
a reverse also thing that Pawan you forgot to mention. After winning a test, also they're losing a test.
Hmm.
You saw in
But they
England,
don't
they won
lose
it.
so many test matches, no, right? Nowadays,
Yeah,
India.
in Adelaide we lost and came back to win in Melbourne. But in
Yeah.
England we won in Lords and lost in Headingley.
Hmm. True. Yeah. but they don't lose that much matches. And Samath here says Virat as a captain never lost the test when Team India set a target of 150 plus. 27 matches,
Yes.
25 wins, and 2 draws. Remarkable
Mm.
stat.
That's because
Team
the
India.
bowling attacks he has a disposal man, where they
Hmm.
know that even 150 plus can be defended. That's the kind of positiveness that Virat brings in the field. You can say someone like a Virat's aggression was missed this test.
Yeah. No point asking what's going to be the result. Definitely will be banking Team India. And I also hope Team India. I also stick with my 2-1 that I went earlier. You also went with 2-1 earlier, I think, for the test, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll also be sticking with the next. I definitely knew it's not going to be a whitewash with how South Africa were. And yeah, I think right now India number one, and this will be important for the ICC Test Championship points table. I don't
True.
know where South Africa are right now. I'll just check on that and then we'll end the stream. Give me a sec. Because South Africa, I think this is their first win, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, in the test
I don't
cycle.
remember they're beating anyone.
No, no, they haven't won.
Mm,
They haven't won
yeah.
anyone. Yeah, South Africa moved to number five. Yeah, 50% points. Yeah, they have only played one series, so that's what.
Oh,
So
this
it's
is the
their first
series.
series also. It's their first series also. That's the thing. Yeah, very interesting though. Now every test nation has got points. Now good to see Bangladesh also winning a test match and making things a bit interesting. Now I hope it's
So,
2-0.
Pawan,
Yeah,
both the test matches in 2022 have been kind of upsets, you can say. Bangladesh beating New Zealand and South Africa to India.
I wouldn't say South Africa beating to India is sort of
No,
upset,
considering
right?
the first test
The
results.
home
Considering the
conditions.
first test result.
Ah, yeah, yeah, true. That's true. Yeah. And New Zealand, meanwhile, in big trouble. And especially the series is now losing to Bangladesh. I think even Sri Lanka will get confidence now of
True.
beating New Zealand at their fortress. But we can't forget that they
Where
lost
are Sri Lanka playing?
Kane
The
Williamson.
venues?
I can they have not scheduled that. It's I think in
Oh, okay,
November. I
okay.
think if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. But New Zealand are in sort of big trouble, and without Kane Williamson also for this Test series against
Hmm.
Bangladesh, I fear they lose the second Test also, or maybe
I
a
tell you,
draw.
Bangladesh will be damn high on confidence now. The
Hmm.
Tigers.
True. Yeah. For me, I still feel it might be a India versus Pakistan final right now. In my opinion, I think Australia could be in the mix, but they'll have some tough fixtures coming up.
Hmm.
Away, especially against Pakistan, Sri Lanka. I'm not sure whether Australia might be able to. They may send. They may struggle in subcontinental conditions this
Hmm.
time around
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
they lost the 2020 series also against um,
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Yeah, so I feel that they might struggle in subcontinental conditions.
I feel this World Test Championship is a bit more closer than the last one, last cycle. So lots
Hmm.
of teams will be having a chance going to maybe the last series that they play. But I can
Let's not
guarantee you
talk
one
about
thing.
England right now. Let's not
Yes, yes,
talk about
that's what I was coming to. All the how many teams are there? 10, is it?
nine,
Okay, nine.
nine, nine,
Eight, eight,
nine.
eight teams will have a chance apart from England.
They are nowhere. They are nowhere closer. They are just let's just focus about England on limited overs because their test team is nowhere and losing they're definitely going to lose the Ashes 5-0 with what's going on at
I
SCG
don't know.
right
Maybe
now.
maybe rain may save them at SCG worst case.
True. Yeah. So we'll end things right there. We nearly hit the 50 minute mark, and that's was where I was planning to go for 40 to 50 minutes. So thank you, Rohan, once again for
Thanks,
joining.
Pan.
And thank you so much,
Good
guys.
day.
Please do subscribe the Sports Breakdown. Please click the notification bell on. And we'll meet you in another video, maybe on doing the Ashes review on Saturday. So, yeah, that's it. Whether any more comments? Satvik is here saying Bangladesh could lose second test match because they always gain overconfidence whenever they win a test match against a big team. Remember, Australia lost the first and then won the second against Bangladesh. Same thing happened in Sri Lanka also. In 2013, I think they won a test series, test match. Sorry, they won a test match, and then I think in the next match, I think they drew the test match, if I'm not mistaken. Bangladesh rarely they win a test series, in my opinion. So maybe, but I feel New Zealand. I think they don't have Kane Williamson. Don't forget about that. And I think Tom Latham as a captain, I don't feel like he's a decent captain, in my opinion. There's some sort of weak links under Tom Latham, and I feel this time around with this young team, Satwik, I don't feel like they'll have overconfidence with how Ebahout Hussain, who else, Mamdul Joy, Shanto. I don't think this time around, because they don't have the senior players also. Meanwhile, I feel this time around Bangladesh have a big chance to win a test series against New Zealand, because New Zealand will be damn low confidence right now with how they played in that first test, and especially losing a test match like that against a low team like Bangladesh at Mount Maguani, which is a very good ground for New Zealand to win. A very unexpected win for Bangladesh. I feel there'll be low confidence. We'll speak about that later, Satwik, about that test. We'll be doing a review on the second test. I did a review yesterday. You could have asked that question when I did that. A good question though. We'll end things, guys. Please do subscribe to Sports Program. Please click the notification bell on. And I think most likely our next video will be on the Ashes review on the fourth test. Then we had to do the Sri Lanka versus Zimbabwe squad analysis ahead of that series. Is not a important series for Sri Lanka. There's so much politics going on, but it's not a big. It's definitely for the ICC ODI Super League. That depends, but I think this time Sri Lanka definitely high on confidence. It's not going to be like what happened in 2017, in my opinion, this time around. So that's it, guys. See you guys in the next video. We'll end things. Thank you to all the viewers who watched. It was great, and thank you, Rohan, for joining once again. Great to discuss cricket with him always. And please do subscribe to the Direct Hit, where Aryan also joins my channel and I joined there. So do check out the Direct Hit. Do subscribe to their channel as well, and see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much.